everyone, welcome back to GK Today. I'm Nuzhat Sana and in this video I'll discuss today's top current and static general studies questions for UPSC Prelims Examination 2022 onwards. And these questions are framed keeping in view both the factual as well as analytical aspects of UPSC Prelims exam. Also, I would like to inform you that these questions are part of GK Today's UPSC Prelims test series, which is available in GK Today Android app. And the test series for 2022 Prelims examination comprises total of 7500 questions, divided 2500 questions on current general studies and 5000 questions on static general studies. And the series has started from May 2021 and it will end with UPSC Prelims Examinations 2022. So if you wish to access all questions of GK Today UPSC Prelims test series, you may subscribe the test series in the app. So now without wasting any further time, let's get started.
So today this is our 16th lecture and now let's start. Question number 1. With reference to the recent trends of Indian oil imports, which of the following is our correct options? So two statements have been given regarding Indian oil imports and you have to identify which of them are correct. First statement says India's annual oil demand has declined for the first time in 23 years in 2020 to 2021. And the second statement says, in recent years, India has started procuring more oil from USA and Canada while reducing oil imports from Africa and the Middle East. So yes, India's annual oil demand has declined for the very first time in 23 years in 2020 to 2021. So the share of India's oil imports from the OPEC countries has hit a 2-decade low because earlier OPEC's share of India's oil imports was 80%, but now it has been reduced to 72%. Further, India has set the target of reducing oil imports to 67% by the year 2022. And for this purpose, India is looking at local production options and green energy. Also, India has started procuring more oil from USA and Canada than Africa and Middle East. Okay, so both of the options are correct. So right answer becomes option number C. Now let's talk about OPEC. It stands for Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and it is a permanent intergovernmental organization that was created at the Bashdad Conference in the year 1960 by Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia and Venezuela. Okay, so basically it aims to manage the supply of oil in an effort to set the price of oil in the world market in order to avoid fluctuations that might affect the economies of both producing as well as purchasing countries. Okay, and the headquarters of OPEC lies in Vienna, Austria. Currently, it has 13 member countries, and which are these? Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, then Saudi Arabia, UAE, Algeria, Libya, Nigeria, and then Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, Republic of Congo, Angola, and last is Venezuela. Okay. So these are the 13 member countries of this particular organization. Now there is one more term you would have heard about it, OPEC plus. What is this? It is a loosely affiliated entity that consists OPEC member countries and 10 of the world's major non-OPEC oil exporting nations. Okay, so this bunch is called as OPEC plus. And which are these 10 countries? I am writing it here. Azerbaijan, Bahrain, Brunei, Kazakhstan, Malaysia, Mexico, then Oman, Russia, Sudan and South Sudan. Okay, so this is called as OPEC plus. Now why we have taken this question? Why OPEC was in news? Because UAE has pushed back against a plan by the OPEC plus group to extend the global partnership to cut the oil production beyond April 2022. So this was the crux of this question. Okay. Now question number 2. With reference to various animal diseases in news in recent times, which of the following is our correct observations? So here name of 4 diseases have been given and you have to identify which of the following are correct. First statement says both lumpy skin disease, that is LSD, and anthrax are the viral diseases. First of all, let's talk about LSD. Yes, it is a viral disease that affects cattle along with water buffalo, and it is caused by LSD virus and transmitted by the blood feeding vectors like ticks, Aedes mosquitoes and stable fly. Okay, so this is correct. So second disease we are talking about is anthrax. It is actually not a viral disease, rather it is bacterial disease and caused by Bacillus anthracis. So basically it is enzootic in southern India, means they are normally present in the animals there. Okay. So since anthrax is a bacterial disease, we cannot say that both of them are viral diseases. It is wrong. Second statement says both brucellosis and foot and mouth disease are bacterial diseases. Talking about brucellosis, yes, it is a bacterial disease caused by Brucella bacteria, and vaccination against this particular disease is provided under NADCP. Okay, what is this? National Animal Disease Control Program. Now talking about foot and mouth disease, it is not a bacterial disease but it is a viral disease, and it is very common disease that affects cattle in India, and the vaccination to control this disease was introduced under again NADCP, that is National Animal Disease Control Program. So since it is a viral disease, both of them are not the bacterial diseases, so it is also wrong, and correct answer becomes neither 1 nor 2. Now in earlier lectures we have talked about some more diseases. For example, we talked about rabies. It is a viral disease that is caused by Lyssa virus. Then we have seen hog cholera, or you can say the classical swine fever. It is caused by the pestivirus and it infects pigs. Then there was a disease named as rinderpest. It is also a viral disease and it affects the cattle. Fine. Question number 3. In which of the following the oxides of nitrogen in atmosphere play a role? First of all, what are the oxides of nitrogen? It refers to the oxides of nitrogen such as nitrogen dioxide and nitric oxide, which hold relevance for air pollution. So basically it is produced upon combustion of fuels at high temperature and is emitted by automobiles. Also, lightning is a very important natural resource of oxides of nitrogen gases. Okay. Now let's see the options. First is acid rain. Actually the oxides of nitrogen can form into nitric acid and leads to the acid rains, which are harmful for the plants, soil health and certain type of buildings. So yes, this is right. Second is photochemical smog. Yes, the oxides of nitrogen can also cause the photochemical smog. And third is formation of tropospheric ozone. So yes, the oxides of nitrogen can lead to the formation of tropospheric ozone by reacting with volatile organic compounds. So here all are correct, means right answer is D option, that is 1, 2 and 3. Now why it was in news? Because according to a study, long-term exposure to nitrogen dioxide pollution can affect the function of lungs. Also it can increase the risk of pulmonary diseases. So annual maximum nitrogen dioxide exposure recommended by World Health Organization is 21.3 ppm. But now the study found that air pollution exposures in some parts of the survey area exceeded this figure. Okay. Now next question. India is a signatory of which of the following international arrangements against hate speech or genocide? So basically you have to identify India is a part of which of the following international agreements. First is the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, that is ICCPR. It is a multilateral treaty that entered into force in the year 1976, and it calls for prohibition by law of advocacy of national, racial or religious hatred. Also, India is a signatory to this treaty. So this is a multinational treaty adopted by United Nations General Assembly, and it is monitored by United Nations Human Rights Commission. Now, why it was in news? Because the authorities worldwide are grappling with various demonstrations over issues like political rights and racial justice. Also, at some places, coercive forces are being used to suppress the voices of protesters. Therefore, right to peaceful assembly has come into spotlight, and supporters believe that protesting peacefully online or in person is a fundamental right. Okay. Now, second one is International Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination. So this is a UN convention that requires the states that are party to it to outlaw hate speeches. Also, India is a part of this agreement. Now, why it was in news? Because every year on 21st of March, we celebrate International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. And this day particularly calls for solidarity against racism and racial discrimination. And this year theme for this particular day was Youth Standing Up Against Racism. Fine. So this convention is being monitored by CERD, means the Committee on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination. Fine. So yes, India is also a part of it. This is right. And third is Genocide Convention 1948. So this convention prohibits direct and public incitement to commit genocide. So yes, India is also a part of this convention. Correct answer becomes 1, 2 and 3. Now last question. What is the objective of targeted long-term repo operations? First of all, what is this TLTRO? It is a tool used by the RBI to enhance liquidity in the market, and it was introduced in the wake of COVID-driven economic crisis, especially for the corporate bond market. So basically, it is a tool that enables the bank to borrow 1 to 3 year funds from the RBI at repo rate with government securities as collaterals. So since here government securities are being used as collateral, it helps to increase their demand and reduce their yield. So it enables the banks to avail funds from the RBI for longer durations, unlike other tools like marginal standing facility or liquidity adjustment facility, etc. Okay. So the aim of this tool is to increase liquidity in markets. Correct answer is option number A. Now let's see some of the benefits of LTRO. First is it enhances liquidity. Then it helps in boosting the investment. Also it brings down the cost of fund for banks. Then also it ensures credit flow to the productive sectors. It ensures that the banks have durable liquidity. So these are some of the important advantages of LTRO. Okay. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. If you want to give any review, feedback or suggestion, you can tell us in the comment section. Definitely we'll try to implement that. And now we'll meet again tomorrow with 5 more new and interesting questions. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. And please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.